guess we just say hello until it happens. Hello. Hello.
That was perfect timing, actually. We pretty much just came in as you did that. Hi, everybody. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Hi. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome
I'm
back.
ready for this tonight.
Yeah, well,
Hi.
it's only temporary, as all things are. But this is the finale of Phixius 5 until we return with Campaign 2. Yes, there is a Campaign 2 that will feature most of us that are sitting here right now, except for one person who bailed, because whatever.
And brand new characters.
And brand new characters. Brand new space. Brand new island or wherever the fuck we are. I don't know.
Continent.
Dinosaurs?
That's the one.
Dinosaurs.
Continent.
Nope. I was told that somebody else was going to volunteer to run the dinosaur one shot, so that's on you guys. You
Not
guys
me.
can fight over who gets to run that.
What?
Right.
Cedar.
Cedar. I'm on a dinosaur one shot.
Yeah,
For feels, not body horror.
Yes, please, not.
Well, our sponsor for tonight is Canadian Dice. You can go to canadiandice.ca, use the code. Oh, look, Cedar's right there. You can use the code TheVacTair at checkout to get 15% off of your order. Hey, Maggie, what's your dice pick of the week?
Do you know why?
Celtic Knot? No, why?
Because the portal got shut down in New York and Ireland. Just kidding.
Yeah, it did.
though.
Yeah, yeah, it did.
I don't know why anybody is surprised by this.
I think we should have it between all of our different domains in the VCU, Vactair Cinematic Universe, because then Elise would just be there, like, as the equivalent to what happened in real life. But no, that happened after I picked the dice. I can tell the future, but they are very pretty.
Yeah, pretty.
I am not ethnically Irish, but my family are. And I'm just a sucker for Celtic design. Studied a lot of it when I did like artsy fartsy stuff. They're really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm still voting for that portal though for all our different universes.
No.
Aurora would just be there just waving.
Oh, that didn't last
She's trying to busk at the portal. Is that Datia behind Aurora?
It's a portal, but it's only Maggie's characters just waving at each other from different universes.
But they would all wave at each other.
They're like, I'm the chosen one. No, I'm the chosen one.
Okay, that's Aurora and Elise, and Atlas is not the chosen one. He's very adamant about that.
That is true.
Speaking of chosen ones, what else is the Vactair doing?
The Vactair is not doing much right now because we are transitioning with some shows. Obviously, this one is coming to an end. We'll have a couple weeks until you're ready to go on Campaign 2. And then, yeah. Really, we've just got Mistwalkers on Monday. And we've got... Not this Saturday, but
every other Saturday.
Next Saturday is Backpacker's Guide. If you need more content, though, Artemis is over on DM Jeremy's channel on Sunday and on Tuesday, as well as Emily on Tuesdays, for some Vampire the Masquerade bullshit and, podcasts. If you need to catch up, it's probably the easiest way for your bandwidth if you don't have unlimited internet. Anyway.
Did you mention Saturday what we're doing on DM Jeremy's channel, or did I just miss that?
It's not on the list, so I don't know.
It's not on the list because I forgot about it. But on Saturday, almost everybody here is going to be over there for a Vampire the Masquerade one-shot that Jeremy's running with the Anarchs. I did art, and he made a whole new intro. Like, it's been a thing. I have made so much vampire art in the last 2 weeks. It's ridiculous.
But they look great.
Yeah, it's such a shame he's a useless man. Because the art Artemis did is so hot.
I even said that, and I was like, oh my gosh, why is he hot?
He's hot, but he's
Jacques.
so
Yeah.
useless.
Jacques, yeah.
Also,
That's
Jacques
what
is hot,
Jacques
too.
That's
got.
quite
Jacques
alright.
was like, "Why is he hot?
What the
What?
heck?
This is
This
just
is
what
supposed
Alyssa
to be
told
my
me to
friend.
do."
Like, Alyssa sent me a bunch of really ridiculous lumberjack pictures, and here we are.
Yep.
Excellent.
I asked for references and she did not disappoint. Too bad I'm gay as shit.
Yeah.
Yep, it is how I roll.
Like you do. Yeah. So I guess that kind
Waiting
of
on
brings us
you.
in. No. Okay, I'm avoiding. Leave me alone.
You kind of got to do something.
I know.
So if you're not going to do anything, I suggest Dinosaur Island.
Oh yeah.
You prepared that, right?
You guys are all suddenly surrounded by fog. You wake up, you're on a strange island you don't know. No, we're not doing that.
Finally, our true adventure begins.
Yes. Okay. So when we left off, you had just finished your battle against Rirka on top of the mountain at Fairland's Bane. Instead of destroying her outright, you broke the chains and sort of freed her spirit. Ram tried to punch her in the face and she turned into a ghost. It was a thing.
So romantic.
Yes, that's
I-
about right.
Ram has feelings.
Angry.
So
fan.
we've noticed.
It's true.
Cranky.
Most of them are rage.
Most of them just
Yes.
anger. Yes.
Rage and screaming. It's fine.
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
But yeah, so we pick up, everything is kind of settled now. The storm overhead is lightening up as you talk. Rika now sort of stands before you in what would be her true form now. Push this out to you guys here. For those of you that can see. But she stands sort of before you, incorporeal, but looks at you, Ram, because you were the closest, and just sort of nods to you, and you can hear in the distance. All of you can sort of hear this in the distance. What sounds like silver trumpet sounding.
How do we know
And
they're silver?
They
They
make a
sound
very
cold.
distinct sound.
Because
They
the
sound
gold
If
one-
you've
silvery.
ever heard a silver trumpet, they make a very, very distinct sound.
I was
Oh,
being
And there's a
sad,
kazoo.
Of course.
There's a kazoo. Oh, just answers back with their kazoo.
gold
at this point.
trumpet sound. The silver one's
Hot.
like bells.
Silver sounds cold, gold sounds hot.
Gold gold
Like the
sound.
dragons.
Ah, yes. This makes sense.
It's okay. We're resistant.
Resistant sound.
That's very true.
Of cold.
Very
She-
distinct sound. Gold.
Looks kind of at each of you individually and says, "Thank you, adventurers. You have freed me from my bonds." And she kind of looks somewhere in the distance where you can hear this sound at something that none of you can see, and says, "I can finally return home and be at peace once more. My time here is ending, but you must have questions. I will tell you what I can."
Where are the trumpets coming from?
Also, adventurers? Who actually said that? Like, I realize you're an old bitch, but God.
Who's got their kazoo out and is playing along with the trumpets now?
These are the people that saved me.
Yeah, you guys are all just watching like parade around with their kazoo at the moment.
Elise
Yeah.
in their
Right.
head is like, yeah, this is how it's supposed to happen. There should be music. They're smug about it.
We'd need a soundtrack, dang it.
Kazoo solo intensifies. Okay, I'm stopping.
I'm sorry, super serious.
No, like, this is how I thought we were gonna go out. It's fine.
In a blaze of glory.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah. Blaze of nonsense. Is that the same thing?
Maybe.
Well, Seeing as
I just
you
trust.
ignored that question, how are you doing? Are you all right after all of that?
I will be all right when I return home, which is where the sound is coming from, by the way, not Celestia.
Okay.
And no.
I prepared ceremony in case you either needed to be protected from like being undead and stuff, or atonement, but I don't know if that makes sense anymore either. You seem fine, I guess.
I
Do
no
I
longer
need
hear
this
him
stuff?
in my head. Whatever you did severed the bond.
Well, that's good.
Wonder what that chessboard looks like right now with the pieces of the gods and style. Just
Yeah.
Aster's just muttering to herself and just shrinks behind Ram.
Maybe we're winning now? More often?
I mean, it was a pretty even keel the entire time.
Yeah.
One side would win, then the next, and then they draw, and
Well, Butthead outside this world probably can't get in now. I think.
I don't know.
You destroyed the
How
beacon.
much? Oh,
The one that
good.
was poking. Oh,
That's good.
I think we should not jinx ourselves too much, Karini.
fair point.
Elise was dabbing once the word winning was brought up, but then they write themselves.
Are you winning, son?
Yeah, and then they ask, I found a crystal that has immense power. What do you know about the item? And I hold it up.
She looks at it for a moment and shakes her head. This is beyond anything I know of.
It looks really cool though, right?
It's very green.
Elise puts it away.
Yeah.
Is that the one that was stuck in here?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, just checking.
Mm-hmm. So, I might be the one escorting you later, just so you know I'm kind of the chosen one. So this is like a really big moment for us as all chosen ones. So I just like,
Shines nails on best. Proudly.
yeah. Do you have anything that you want us to relay? You know, as the chosen ones, like your final will and testament, or like a
An
lesson you want
apology.
everyone to learn?
Just want to go home.
Okay.
You should go home. Yes.
Yeah, get out.
Yes.
Okay.
Respectfully, obviously.
No, disrespectfully. 100%
I am
disrespectfully.
It is safer if you are not here. You have caused a lot of damage and have been damaged. You should go home to heal.
Elise starts humming Damaged by Dainty Kane, but we cannot do that legally for copyright reasons.
You can do 12 seconds.
You think I know how to hum too?
Hey,
You need a
Kazoo
kazoo.
it.
Kazoo.
I don't know that song.
Good song. But Elise, they would say, okay, is there any like ceremony stuff that I might know for wishing away spirits, being a missive of the Raven Queen, the chosen one of the Raven, the missive of the Raven Queen?
You just know that you would like hold your lantern up and their soul would be drawn into it.
I
And then you
hold my
take it.
lantern up.
Okay.
Ghostbusters.
So as you do, she sort of fades into a ball of light, and the light is drawn into your lantern. And when that happens, all of you are surrounded by mist for a moment, and
No.
a few moments later, you emerge into a city that
Oh.
none of you recognize. It is
Why?
made of white stone and glass.
Bring her back. What happened? Bring her back.
And
I
Elise,
don't-
you
travel anymore.
you've never been here in your like unpaid internship. You've never been here, but you've heard of it, and you sort of like instinctively know that this place is called Jovar. This city is called Jovar, and it's one of the it's the second to the top of Mount Celestia. And there
So this
is
bitch got an upgrade? You fucking
this
kidding
is
me?
where most of them are from, actually.
I mean, it wasn't really her fault. I don't
Yes, it was.
think.
She started it.
The chains and the puppeting.
I'm not saying it's right, but she started it.
Yeah, well, that's
The end result, not cool, but she started it.
As
fair
the
enough.
two of you are having this discussion, the rest of you realize you are not alone. Not only are there like shapes moving around you that you can't quite make out, you think that they're people, but you're not entirely sure. But you do see very clearly, very solidly, you see Ouroboros is there. You see Primus. You see the Everlight. And you also see Melora. And
What about
They
Mommy
have-
Raven Queen?
she cannot leave the river.
Oh, okay.
So if she was there, there's a problem.
That makes sense. Thank you.
Fair,
That
fair.
would be so bad, actually.
Yes. But they're just sort of waiting patiently while you guys are having this discussion because, you know, you're arguing about whether or not she's right or wrong. And they're just waiting. Aster, you see Ouroboros kind of out of the corner of your eye.
Oh, immediate run over and just plop right on him.
And another. Oh, she's gone.
Whole body, just
Yeah, Ram, like 1 minute she's there and then she's just gone. And like,
like-
Aster, as you run over, Ouroboros sort of lowers his head and you just smack right onto like his giant forehead.
exactly.
It's
Just
so
arms
cute.
outstretched, just cheek against his face.
Yes. You hear him sort of like grumble, laugh underneath you. And the others, the other three look at the rest of you and
I'm not hugging you.
I would expect nothing less, Melora
Hi.
says.
Hello.
Hello. You have all done very well.
Yeah, cleaning up your mess.
There are rules,
Yeah,
Ram.
I don't give a fuck.
Well,
Elise is doing the meme where like the puppet that's like side eyeing and then looking back forward because Elise internally is like, okay, if Ram punches Mechanus, what am I going to do?
I'm gonna
What
punch
am I
the
going
whole
to do?
fucking plane of Mechanus. Promise.
yeah,
I- I-
Primus is there.
I did say at the beginning of this campaign I wanted to punch a god.
Yes. Elise,
We already stole the airship you wanted, so really, we're up to
I
the
mean,
next
this is all you
one.
got left.
Last
This is-
bucket list
This is a
item.
bucket list item. What a way
Yep.
to go out.
Dreams come true.
But anyways, as Aster and Ouroboros are having this moment, Melora sort of steps forward and looks at you, Elise, and she says, hold up your lantern. Elise.
Max.
Maggie.
Maggie.
what?
Melora
Lots
stepped
of
forward
things.
and said to Elise, hold up your lantern.
I hold up my lantern, like, and then I'm like, wait, what is this gonna do? I'm already holding it up.
The
I think
light
I'm trying
that
to get out, so I'm like slightly distracted.
No worries. The light that was drawn in that is Rirka's spirit floats out, and Melora sort of like waves her hand in a circle, and one of those if you've ever seen Tangled, the floating lanterns that they have in that where they light them and they kind of float off. She's holding one of those, and the ball of light is sort of drawn into it and lights up, and then she sort of sends it on its way, and it joins what you see is a whole host of others.
What happened? What was that?
She is at peace. She has joined the others. She will live here as an Archon.
She will cause no more destruction.
No,
No
little
more.
one.
Out of character, was Rirka like a cool color, like the deer lady was like bluish or purple?
No, she was gold in color.
She was a different color. Or Rirka, who? Wait, who?
Rirka was gold in color.
So,
And
hi.
hello.
I mean, this is kind of a big deal, everybody. I mean, these are like the gods.
Yeah.
We wanted to thank you in person. You have all done what many before you could not.
Sister's gonna slide down and give him a good pat, and then turn. And you said Primus is here?
Yes.
She's gonna go over to him and punch him.
My love.
She's gonna go up to him and just
How tall is Esther again?
Like
Is this
4
4'2"?
6?
Like 4'2"?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Resistance is a reaction.
She's going to muster all the strength her tiny little weak-legged body has and summon a rage all for her love, and she goes and punches him.
So you punch him mid-thigh because that's all the
Yes.
taller you are.
Yes.
And there is a resounding thunk, and he looks down at you and then looks back at Ram, looks down at you again, and says, "Well done."
Don't praise my girlfriend. That's my job.
Yeah.
Good job, baby.
It turns and walks over to Ram.
Scoop her up.
Right. Oh no, my notes, they disappeared. Where'd they go? Okay, there. Okay, so as you're all sort of standing there, Melora again says, Morden is talking with the others on the council on your behalf. It will take time to change things. So we request patience. And she specifically looks at Ram when she says this.
I've only got 3 fingers. That's all I can do.
Yep. Like you do.
The point is made.
Yes. We don't know what that change will look like, but when it does, you may be called to oversee the new accords.
I beg your fucking pardon?
It requires mortals.
Oh, like when you all sign it?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah, fine. You can
It's an
sign in
agreement.
blood.
God's bleed.
Yeah. Why do you think we fought them?
McCandless just nods. She's not wrong.
Primus.
Yes, Primus. I was looking at the word mechanist over here.
My
Everyone
lady's
nods.
mostly made of fire.
Yep.
That's why I asked. Sort of flames.
On the sides of my face.
Is
Um,
Reggie here? Like, by the way, what's Reggie and everybody at Celsus Familiars doing? Elise doesn't have one, so
Oh yeah.
they have their lantern, their lanterns, they're familiar.
Literally everybody's.
Reggie wouldn't be here. We left him in
You left him in Edinburgh, didn't you?
He was in like a safe place, was he not?
he came
No, you left
through
him
with
in
the-
Baguna.
Laguna.
Yeah, unless he came
Yeah.
through with the king and queen, but they hadn't come yet.
They had just arrived like the night before you guys left.
Oh, okay. Well, then Reggie is here.
Reggie looks fine. Just there.
Not bigger.
Not at the moment, no.
We are on another
Um,
flight.
Next up, you see a bear-sized Reggie in front of you.
Ah.
Ouroboros looks to you, Aster, and says, "I have a gift for you, little one," and sort of like leans down so he's like face level with you again.
Except your swamp muffins.
What?
Not. Okay. That's fine. They're a delicacy where I came from. They're great. You're missing out. I'll bring you one someday.
I look forward to it. He looks confused.
It's just mud and
Um,
bugs
A little bit
With
of
a little
moss.
bit of moss.
and a little bit of moss.
Tail.
The moss is like sprinkled on top.
Yep.
Mm.
He sort of like shifts so you can see his side where like all of the constellations that are in the sky are, and when he turns you can see there is a new constellation there, and he says, "The other gods and I agree, and I have hung a picture of you in the sky." And you can see like there's a small it's 8 stars total, and they all sort of connect together to make a picture of you.
Aster just in shock, like is silent and reaches out her hand very slowly to like very gently touch it. And for the first time ever, you all see her very slowly close her eyes. And she's just standing there in just silent, utter bliss and astonishment.
I just leaned down beside her. You lost.
I
Give her like
shoot
a-
up her back again.
It's fine. The game's over. You can go to sleep with your eyes closed now, you little freak.
She passes out. No, just kidding.
Hasn't actually been sleeping the entire campaign.
For anybody else.
Eternally exhausted. Which would explain a
All of
lot
us
about
seem
us.
like the little girl on Totoro on top of Ouroboros.
I crashed in Fantasy Grounds. Did anybody else crash, or was that me?
Oh, you buddy.
Oh,
I never went into
Just you.
Fantasy
Now,
Grounds.
now. Oh no.
He kind of turns so that he can see you again, and he says, "If you choose your place among your people, you will lead them to a golden age of peace within your homelands." And then he kind of like looks up at Ram and looks over at the others, and he says, "You may also choose to wander the lands with your friends. The choice is yours alone. I will be there in the skies to guide you always. When your time comes, you will have a home in the realm of Elysium, in my realm." if you should choose. Your friends may also have their own place that you may join them there. And then looks at Elise and says, when the time comes, you will take her wherever she chooses.
Of course, that's my job.
And then he says, I will be close by, guiding you as always. You need only to reach out.
He would just nod.
Sorry.
Hey, I have a question real quick.
Mhm.
The Everlight? What did you do in Cranny's head? What was that about?
It
What
was
the heck?
only a test. It
Yeah,
was only a
but
test.
why did you make us but backwards? I don't think that, like, they were us but backwards, but we decided that was canon.
I
Yeah,
did
'cause
not
we
choose
named
the
them.
form that they took. Only the test itself.
Who chose it?
She sort of turns her head towards Karani. Whether consciously or not, you chose.
Sorry.
Backwards us was not fun, Karini.
I don't know. I thought it was pretty fun.
I still can't believe that Zyle died first.
I can believe that.
I'm
I
so
mean-
bitter over it.
The Everlight nods to you, Karani, and she doesn't really have like facial features like a normal humanoid would. Like she has eyes that look like flame, and you can see that there's like a hint of a mouth, but you can tell that she's smiling at you. And she says, "You've done well, my champion. You and your friends have stopped chaos from engulfing the lands. While the chained oblivion slumbers once more, know that chaos cannot be fully destroyed. There will always be dark as long as there is light. All things in balance. Lead your people, live a good long life, and never stop learning. I will never be far away."
I would have known that chaos will never be gone. This group's still alive. Especially O. Come on
That
now.
is true. I am alive. Is that a bug?
Pull out a beetle.
There are no bugs here, but there are a lot of shiny floating lights around.
Great. Well, I
We
think
get a
we
bag
know
of
that.
those
Beetle
to
bag.
go.
I've got the
Yeah,
beetle bag.
give
It's
the
fine.
beetle bag.
Can we get a bag of those shiny balls to go?
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
That's what
They're
she said.
probably souls or something. Jeez.
Take a little chomp of, I don't know,
Whoops.
some general from 2,000 years ago.
Yeah, they probably deserve it.
Wait, how do you chomp them? You don't have teeth.
I
Not
have
me. Oh,
a nose mouse. I have a nose.
Okay. Oh, I thought I'm confused.
Rub the light balls on your soul plate.
silent green is people.
A city built on the dead. Hydrate comes in a little glass bottle. A vial.
my God.
Vial. Elise then has another question. So, like, what happened to the Chained Oblivion?
His avatar was sent back. He still slumbers where he is chained.
So the Raven Queen has to stay down in the river then.
That is her sworn duty.
I was just asking, you know, everybody else got to come out to the welcome party.
You get to see your god more than anyone else.
I know, but I'm still allowed to feel privileged and entitled to do it.
That's literally Elise's whole shtick. Entitlement.
That's fair.
Exactly.
We
See,
are
Ram
aware.
understands.
Hashtag not a peasant.
Yeah.
It's at this point that Primus steps forward to you, Ram.
No, thank you.
Rainy will kind of stand next to Ram, just for moral support.
I realize
Elise
you
is
do not.
standing also nearby for, oh my god, we're gonna fight the gods now support.
O is whizzing around, chasing after glowing balls, and not paying attention to any of this foolishness.
Yeah, that
That
tracks.
tracks.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
What do you want?
I realize you do not want to talk to me, and that
No,
is
I
okay.
don't.
You've held vigil for long enough. The gods have decided that you will have a choice, and he sort of holds out a hand, and in the center of his hand is a small crystal vial that seems to glow and pulse. And he holds it out to you, and he says, you will have a choice. When the time comes for you to leave the material plane, you may either return to Mechanus and join with your brethren there and be reborn anew, or, and sort of looks at the others and then back to you and says, crush this vial in your hand, and it will bring you where you choose, to your friends in Elysium or home.
Every one of us should get that choice.
Everyone does have that choice.
Not Warforged. If I have to have a special vial to make sure I don't go back there, what about everybody else? Your forge is already breaking down.
We are trying to fix it.
Stop it. Let the souls lie. Let them be with the people that they've come to love, instead of recycling them over and over again. We have an autonomy now, but we don't really. Not in the end, not when it matters.
This is a thing Morden fights for.
It shouldn't even be a question.
It is not for me to decide.
You made us.
I did not make you.
You know what I mean. You continue to make us. You could just
I
let us
oversee the
go.
process.
That's like the best place to be to throw a monkey wrench in the whole work.
It's not how it works in Mechanus, and you know.
I was trying to figure out what Maggie was doing. Guys. Oh, it's
Wiggle,
Gingy.
wiggle, 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 wiggle.
Oh,
It's the Gingy.
Oh, Gingy.
good dog.
At least put a hold on production until he figures it out.
We'll see what can be done.
I'm sure you, Mortis, and even the Raven Queen can come up with a solution. I mean, you are gods, are you not? If we, as individuals with all different, traits and backstories, can bring Rika here, I feel like you guys could figure out this contract.
The trick, as you say, is to doing it in a way that doesn't throw everything into unbalance.
I don't see how Warforged being able to die and stay dead would throw something out of balance.
Before they were made, and everything was just the chaos of humanoid kind, wasn't it all right then? And even while they were all shut down, wasn't it fine then too? And you weren't making any more, and you weren't sending any more, and there wasn't any war, and it was fine. So why do they need to keep being held in reserve? Can't they just be like the rest of us?
It's not that they stopped being made. There are many in Mechanus who have not crossed.
And they live lives like ours?
They live lives according to the laws of Mechanus.
Did they choose not to go, or were they just not sent because they weren't needed?
It is dangerous to cross through the gate. It took all of us here to bring you here unharmed.
So is the problem that it's a complication of their souls being in danger if they were to go elsewhere after they finish their work?
It weakens the collective if they don't return. And should all those souls decide not to return and chaos returns, who will stand and fight?
I literally do the Will Smith gesture to the other 4 members in my party.
I realize we're not as strong as Ram, but,
No, but there are
we did
other
it of our
people
own
who are.
volition, and many more did as well. And many Warforged did as well in this particular situation. They came to help. Entire cities of elves and men and dwarves and many
The
other
Riders of
creatures.
Rohan. Like, everybody was there, man. Like, I was one metal guy in a sea of fleshies.
There were dragons. I mean, you saw.
And in the past, it wasn't enough. That's why the Warforged were created.
Well, it was enough this time.
There has to be a way. Right? I mean, I
He just doesn't
realize.
want to lose his power, because if we all go away, he loses power.
Is that true?
It would diminish me, yes.
What if those who are like us, the fleshies, who chose to abide by laws and order, what if they chose to worship you? Could they not do that?
They could.
Would they not put the balance back into place?
All mortal life was made with a drop of chaos. It is simply the way you are. Law and order is not exactly your forte in many situations.
Isn't that what's happening with the Warforged now? So they're just like us.
Also, if law and order isn't working, I believe you changed the laws. Or else order will never be brought back into balance no matter what.
Created by Dick Wolf. Boom, boom.
Primus is
Chaos
Dick
incarnate
Wolf.
runs by.
Yeah, that tracks.
Mariska Hargitay just walks out. Joins our side.
God. Gods would be screwed if that happened.
She'd be on the Warforged side, for sure.
For sure.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
She
the
just
gods wouldn't
appears
stand a
from
chance.
Earth. Says, "Excuse me."
Then
Liv
Ice T would
shows
come
up,
out of nowhere and
everybody's
be
just
like,
Oh no, we're done. I just think there has to be a way, right? I mean, they're coming out that way now anyway. And
It
it's
is a thing
fine.
that will be discussed with the new accords.
All right. Try not to get too in the weeds here with it. Down half my spell slots.
You're not prepared to take on gods
I'm not
today.
prepared yet. I didn't prepare
Let me take a
all
quick nap.
emotions.
and it's on.
I don't have any of my diplomatic spells.
I
take
can
a quick
finally sleep now.
8-hour
You
nap.
better figure out after I wake
I
up.
mean, speaking as somebody who might not be a god, but is a bureaucrat, if you do not have happy people, you will not be happy long term either if there is a long term. Because not only do the Warforged have amazing resiliency, but they're forming more and more allies every day who understand that, as I think everybody said at least once, if not more than once, that they're people too. And if the fleshies are willing to fight against beings like Rirka, don't underestimate what they'll do next.
That's a threat, by the way, in case you didn't catch that. That was a threat.
It was a thinly veiled threat.
My lawyer
There was
is
some
speaking
veiling
for
there,
me,
no matter how
and
thin. Like, I feel like your patience.
on behalf of my client, I'd like to
As
remind you.
per my last email.
Bitch, do you read?
Talk about balance. We do need chaos. We do need the law and order, but there could be too much on that side of it too. You said there was too much chaos, but maybe do you think it's because there's too much order that you're trying to implement and wrongly? Did you not think maybe that is what's causing all of this? Just a thought. I don't know. I'm learning how to blink. It's weird.
I'm really proud of you.
Well, that's been a running joke since like session 2.
I know. Character development.
Learned how to blink.
Fully formed character arc.
Blink, blink, blink.
But disaster blink like
Or is it like
Like on purpose.
yeah, like
Just-
puts the whole head and neck into the blink,
Just kind of head bangs every
the
time.
bit.
Just,
and it's like a full
Mid-
face scrunch to get the eyelids to close.
yes. Sometimes it's just one eye, and she's like, "Crap." It's the
I mean,
other
that's
eye.
pretty
Can't get
lizardy.
it open again.
Yeah.
Just winking at everybody.
Urgh.
Regardless, the souls that you're recycling are broken. You've been recycling them for over 2,000 years. That was your problem. Only so much trauma can live in a soul before it breaks.
This is what the recycling is for.
They still remember.
Make it all new.
No, it's not new. It's using something that already exists, breaking it down to its brass tacks, and putting it back together again. Your spit's shining. That's all you're doing. The memories still remain in the soul.
Perhaps you are right. It is not a perfect system, by any means. But it's what we had at the time.
The only people who should be making Warforged are Warforged.
Primus is a Warforged, by the way.
That's fine. He's an asshole, so it doesn't matter what his opinion is.
Yes, but
Regardless, he's the overseer. He's not making them. He said it himself.
He hasn't been through the recycling process himself, has he?
not that any of you know.
Not yet, anyways.
There's still time. I got 3 more regions in my pocket, baby. Let's go.
Roll initiative.
Party wiped in 2 rounds.
And that was how
no.
it went down.
No epilogue. We just fucking
On
died.
that, players. DM wins.
TPK
Artemis
That's how it
to
works.
the surprise of all of us, Artemis just goes full like combative, just absolutely like. Girls.
I guess
It
we'll
will
see
be
what happens
discussed.
if it changes. Yeah.
I didn't know I could have
Like
headaches,
what?
but I have one.
Greater restoration.
Oh, thank you. That actually really helped.
You're welcome.
Wow, so easy.
Yeah, it only costs 100 gold pieces.
Oh, don't do that, man.
Lesser restoration's free. Does that help?
It should. It's only a headache.
Bing.
If it's going to be discussed, who is speaking for the Warforged? And don't say you. Your bias.
Morden.
Guess that's better than you.
Whatever you said to him when you visited, it seems to have spoken to him.
Him has a way about himself.
I'm not the diplomatic type.
So we've noticed.
Sometimes you need to hear the truth, though.
Was there something else, or are you just gonna stand there being tall and awful?
No, we simply wish to give you this and send you back.
Oh, okay. Take this stupid vial.
He just sort of stands like he's always been very like stock still, very proper, very Mr. High and Mighty, as you call him, and that has not changed since he's been here. It is odd to see him outside of Mechanist, but it doesn't seem to affect him the same way that it affected the others who left. At least not at the moment, not that you can tell. For you and the others, when you went to Mount Celestia the first time, it was almost immediate that you had the ability to make choices. So, but it is a bit odd to see him outside of Mechanus.
Is he able to make choices? I'm not asking that question of anybody. I'm just kind of wondering it aloud. To myself. Me, Emily, not Granny.
As a
Yes.
character, Moose. Yes.
I'd say
Um,
probably, but they have to be within line of the laws of Mechanus.
So he's not really free either?
Nope.
Not exactly.
No, but out of everybody there, he's the one that benefits the most.
Yeah. Interesting.
We will send you back now if you are ready. We appreciate you bringing Rika here so she can rest. Laura kind of says this to all of you.
Did you catch any bugs, though?
You see O is like running around chasing one of the little balls of light that's like floating nearby, and it's very reminiscent of the bugs that you saw in the forest, and you think O is going to get a nasty shock if they catch one.
Mm.
Oh no.
Probably.
Now might be the time to go.
Just kind of like pluck them off the ground when they run by at one point.
Yoink.
Ram! Hi!
Hi, sweetie. Time to leave. Have a bug. And then shove
I
a
am
beetle
ready.
in your snoot.
Oh, that's so precious.
As one does.
Okay.
Where to now? Goodbye, gods. Goodbye.
Wouldn't want to be,
There's a moment, and then that fog sort of surrounds you all again, and you kind of step through it. And Elise, it's as you're stepping through this fog that you hear water, like you're on the edge of the river. You also hear the Raven Queen's voice, and she says to you, "You have done well, my champion. The threads of fate have been untangled and the weave of destiny is intact. Your soul is fully your own again. Chaos will hold no sway. When it is your turn to enter the lands of the mist for good, you'll have your choice. Elysium with your friends, or you may choose to help me guard the river until the end of days."
Like, do I get like time off though to visit my friends, or do I have to stay in the river like 24/7?
There's
24/10.
like an exasperated sigh.
Who picked this chosen one?
Your own damn fault.
Like, do I get PTO or what do I get?
You just like, you don't hear anything, you just like feel sort of the exasperation, and like this is going to be a very long eternity.
Elise hears the exasperation, but they aren't listening.
And then
Used to
almost as soon
exasperation.
as it starts, the mist clears again, and you find yourselves back on Fairlawn's Bane.
We will negotiate the contract later, then I assume.
Who are you talking to?
My God. She
My
says that I
God.
could either go to
My
Elysium
God.
and hang out with you all, or I can protect the river. Guard the river for all eternity with her. But so I asked, like, well, can I get some like pay time off to see my friends once in a while? And she was just like, and I don't know what that means. Like, I want my contract laid out in clear terms and conditions. If I'm going to be doing this for all eternity, I want to make sure I do it right. I wonder if there are like god attorneys.
See, that seems like maybe what Primus should be for.
Attorney at law?
He could write up a contract, I'm sure. It'd be all tied up, legalese, everything perfect.
What about me?
Never mind.
Legalese, not Elise.
Legalese. Putting that on the list with Elise.
You could
this
add
week.
it to your very long
Yeah.
title.
Legalese.
I mean,
So as
guarding
you
a river sounds pretty boring.
I mean, yeah, I would rather hang out with you all, but again, like, I just want to make sure, well, what if I can do both? Because then there might not be another big war. And then another adventuring party will have slightly less trauma.
Maybe the other gods will let us take shifts to help you guard the river.
Oh, it's like Watch, so then you would just have to hang out with me for like hundreds of years each time. That would be great. You'll love it. We'll hang out so much.
Might get a bit pruny.
I don't think you stay in the river while you're guarding it. That seems counterproductive.
I wonder if I could go in the river though if I felt like it. Like just,
Do you want to risk
You know that Caro had a barge.
I mean, I did want to jump in the Soul Forge, so do you think that I want to risk it?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Look.
But should you?
Probably not. I think that would probably be in a workplace hazards thing. Again, I did not receive like a company guidelines. There were no safety regulations. I do not know where the anti-fire magic extinguisher is. The magical item.
No one
Fire
showed you the
extinguisher.
OSHA poster?
Yeah,
Those of
no
you that are
OSHA.
in Fantasy Grounds right now, please roll me perception checks.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
no. What?
Please tell me.
What
Well,
are we
I mean, I
doing?
can do
Please.
that.
Not when
tell
we're
me.
talking about fire safety.
Hold on. I'm gonna do it online. Give me a sec.
You need the MSDS sheets.
No! I'm using my inspiration to re-roll that, and I don't care how stupid it is.
It's the last session. You might as well burn them now.
Yeah, fuck it.
26.
Roll a d20. Okay, I'm gonna.
Instead of
I don't know what
one.
my perception is to go with this, but give me.
16.
I'm gonna roll a thing. Okay, go. 16. Doesn't matter what my
Yeah.
perception.
97.
Good enough. Okay, so pretty much everybody notices that like the sky has obviously started to clear from the storm that was raging when Ruka was still here. It's kind of at this point, as you guys are all talking, that you guys notice the skyship has sort of flown up and is coming down to meet you.
Oh. Oh, look at that.
Don't even have to go back down the mountain. That's happy.
It is our lift. Excellent. I am ready to drive. We should fly.
Where to?
Hmm.
Dinosaur Island.
Well,
Was that even a question?
Wait, hold on. No.
Dinosaur Island.
Craney just gets kidnapped to Dinosaur Island, and that's why she's there. Wait. No, I didn't agree to this.
It's okay. You'll have
More
fun.
dinos.
You'll have fun. Okay.
Okay. So we're gonna move into the part where you guys talk about what your characters do for the rest of their lives, okay? So
No pressure.
immediately after you rejoin with the skyship, like where are you guys going as group? Are you going back to Ebonbreak? Are you going somewhere else? Obviously Dinosaur Island is on the list. That will be a one shot later. It's fine. After Dinosaur Island.
Yes.
So that happens, and afterwards, when we're like, wow, that was a trip.
Percy lost an arm. That's just kidding.
Don't mess with me, man. I will make that stuff come back
I
to bite you in the
specifically
ass.
said Percy. Ain't nobody in this party named Percy.
Does anyone
Yeah.
remember why Karani was nicknamed Percy during our journey at Dinosaur Island?
Shit.
Where are you
Better
going
stock
immediately,
regenerate.
like as a group?
Dinosaur
Back to
Island.
Ebonbreak? Yes, after Dinosaur Island, for
We're going
crying
right
out loud.
there.
Yeah,
We're not-
after
we're not
Dinosaur
going
Island.
back anywhere where they can take the ship back. No. Dinosaur Island.
Never stop floating. You'll never catch us.
Just move to Dinosaur Island.
I
Disneyland
cast the
Five
thing so I
universe.
can just total recall us or whatever the heck that spell's called
But then
to
how do we get back to the ship?
our house. Who can
God,
teleport?
Cedar's already planning the one shot.
Oh.
Do
That
we
is
have
not-
a tree on the ship?
We
No.
could get a plant, like we could get a potted tree.
Potted tree. Potted
Yeah, that's what
palm
we do.
tree.
We go to the nearest Lowe's garden
We just
center.
land the ship next to
Oh,
a
yeah.
tree on Dinosaur Island.
The
Yeah.
Home Depot.
That's what we do. The first time we land, we dig up a tree and basically plant it on the deck.
There you go.
Sure.
Getting the tree's permission with tree speak.
Hey, you want to
yeah.
see other places? Great. Just hang on.
I
Yeah.
interject and say that O's big dream is to start up an artificer's DIY and make it yourself spoon museum.
No.
That sounds like so
Well,
much
I
fun.
love that.
We'll
Spoon
get to that.
museum?
This is just immediately after, like, before you guys all go your separate ways. Like, just immediately after.
Elise would want to recruit the party to help find that their dad because he's locked in a tower,
Yeah, obviously.
We do
and
that.
seems
for
to not
sure.
be having a good time.
Should we do that
specifically told them
before
I don't look
Dinosaur
like-
Island? It feels not wise to just leave him there.
We could
Like,
get
you
him
don't-
and then pick up her mama on the way, or their mama on the way, and then move them both to Dinosaur Island where they can
Dinosaur
retire.
vacation.
It's perfect. It's a perfect plan.
You know what?
Relocating everyone
You all
there.
are right. Let's take my parents on a vacation. They haven't seen each other in like 80 years, or no, less than that. It's been less than that. I'm just exaggerating. They haven't seen each other in a good while, at least.
I like it.
I was only like this tall when I last saw my father.
So
But
like,
you're
how
only
much
this tall
shorter than
now.
you are?
No, I'm like this tall. Elise is like raising their arm up like above their head. I'm like this tall now.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Elise,
Okay,
hey,
so-
oh, on the way, could you make me some stilts, please?
Yes, with spoons
Oh.
or without spoons.
Spoons.
Okay, I have spoons.
Elise knows that if there's any material it can work with, it's spoons.
This is what you hoped for epilogues, right?
It's what I expected.
Elise,
There.
Elise also wants to see their girlfriend again at some point and debate, whether they're gonna stay together. Still, they haven't gotten to spend a lot of time together. I
Your
don't know.
girlfriend did an ebb and break.
We
Yeah.
should go on more fishing/printing trips to send
Yeah.
more
Well,
Mail.
once we plant the tree on our deck, we can just port to our house, go get
Yeah.
your girlfriend, and then we can just tree stride back to the boat.
Oh, so then we take my girlfriend to meet my dad
Yeah.
and my mom, and then we all go to Dinosaur Island and we sugar butts.
I think she's already met your mom. Isn't it?
Yes, she met your mom.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh, we
yeah.
should also get Clarity and Robin and everybody.
Yeah.
And then we'll be like all in the after credits of a video game where like all your favorite NPCs are there who you recruited to your party. Giant dance party on Dinosaur Island with also the dinosaurs dancing and wearing party hats.
I like
Oh my
this.
god.
You almost
Okay,
made me completely
so-
fall out of my chair and hit my head because my pillow slipped.
Nope.
Makes
I
me
can
really
wait. I only
sad.
see this much of you.
Yeah, of course.
So you rescue Elise's dad, go to Dinosaur Island. What?
Probably come back to Evan Break after this.
Mm.
Okay.
Probably should.
By tree stride, so that the ship is safe. Or
Yeah, we're
the-
keeping that ship.
Oh fuck yeah!
Or Total Recall. Either one
Yes,
would work.
word of total recall for sure. 3 boobs. We're
Why
on
can't
it.
I think of the name?
Word of recall.
Word of Recall. Total Recall, Word of Recall. It's
That's their
fine.
name.
Total Recall is a totally different thing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Right. Anyways,
Yep.
so when you arrive back, the king and queen are there. They call you before them, and there's celebrations throughout the city. They throw a pretty much a celebration in your guys' honor for helping get the city back. And after all of that, you guys can sort of decide what each of your characters are going to do. So, who wants to start? Maggie, you're up. you got nosed in.
So what Elise does is they open their Google Doc that has the information on it. Because Elise's players
First they invent Google.
Discord ate it, and they only found out today, and were very sad.
Oh,
Apparently, there was a document that I was supposed to get that I found out about at 10 o'clock this morning.
It was just a Discord message, and
Oh.
I've been having problems with Discord mobile, saying try to reload the message because it didn't go through basically in red text, and I hate it. Okay, anyways, Elise, they would probably decide to get some sort of bureaucratic job, probably an Ebon break, either with the council or the Adventurers Guild. They love bureaucracy. It's like their second favorite thing.
I bet you could become part of the HOA.
I don't want to reform the HOA. That would make Elise the next BBEG for the next party. Elise would want to get elected to council. They would be like, Elise, the chosen one of the many saviors of Evan Break, and then like the list, like it's in very tiny text, but it takes up like a huge chunk.
Where it says like the sneeze.
Yeah, the legalese. That's my slogan. And over time they would mature. They wouldn't lose their whimsy, aka they're really delusional, but they would take the lessons that they learned from others to appreciate things that are natural and preserve them, to also not stand up for like oppressors or stay silent on the matter, but to charge head forth even if it doesn't serve them. They've kind of learned, the world doesn't revolve around them and what they want. They have to listen to other people too, and they can use their own skills to help others, which would make them a good public servant. Their ego also makes them somebody who would want to be a public servant.
Okay.
When they do eventually pass, they get to like choose their own shape. And they want to transcend gender, and they just want to become a floating crystal, like the one that looks like in their chest. So they're just like a really cool floating crystal now. They would choose to stay in the river if they did get breaks to see their friends. Is that allowed?
Yes, you would be able to visit your friends.
Yeah, and then I would just show up and be like, "Hey, bitches," and I'm like a rotating crystal. Regarding the actual crystal, story-wise, do we want to leave that vague? What happens to it?
It's up to you. If you want to bequeath it, if you want to hand it off.
I don't want to queef on it. So I don't think Elise has like a protege or anything to pass it on to. So I think Elise, they would attempt to hide it. In a place where somebody could find it. Well, not find it. They want to hide it in a place where somebody can't find it. So
Elise has access to literally all of the realms. So Elise could put it anywhere.
I want to put it right where the Phixius... I want to put it where the Mistwalkers are right now. Just kidding. That would be a terrible idea. I don't trust those people.
And...
I don't trust us with the one that we do have.
Don't we have two?
No, we just have one.
Oh, so then we deserve two. Just kidding.
No. No. It's a terrible idea.
Okay, that's Elise's turn. Now you guys have to go. Ha 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 ha.
Okay, so O's next.
O's
what does
next.
O want to do with the rest of their life?
O undoubtedly ends up in a bunch of different realms chasing bugs through portals, because that's how O rolls. Always coming back from time to time to see everybody at Evan Break when they can make their way back through deals made with other Archfey. They collect them like Pokemon.
This is actually something that Cedar and I talked about, because we figured that was kind of what was going to happen, is like when every once in a while when Cottonwood comes to visit Karani in the village, they bring O with them, and was like, here, they got lost again.
just returning your Kenku.
Oh, jeez.
Thank gods I'm done with it again.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, and of course their plan for the big museum. Yep. And Boop runs the front desk on that and takes admission from everybody. So. Which gets added into their back pocket where all the spoons are, and O's spoon stealing continues well into old age, I would like to add.
Is the price of admission a spoon?
I don't want to admit
It's a
anything
fork.
yet, because it might become
It's
canon.
For the fork museum that is forthcoming.
Yeah. Gotta build that collection.
O's got even bigger plans. And after that,
Are
it's
you
this
making Are you making this museum in Ebbenbreak, or are you returning home to
Yes.
Nidra?
No, this is an Ebbenbreak.
Okay.
It's O's big dream.
Okay.
If you make enough museums, you have your spoon and your fork and knife. You could like call them the cutlery. It's like kind of a cool name.
It's true.
Have you been to the cutlery?
And then there's like a restaurant that joins the three of them.
That has no cutlery
With
in
no
it whatsoever.
silverware.
It's all bugs. It's all bugs.
All bugs, no silverware.
And it's finger
All bugs,
food.
no silverware.
It's 100%
Yeah.
finger food.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love it.
And things made out of cottonwoods apples, like you do.
Oh,
Like
sure.
you do.
Really wicked apple crumble or something.
Yeah, exactly.
That tracks.
Apple beetle crumble.
Ooh.
Oh, just randomly disappears every once in a while and is returned to Karini's village.
Yeah. Tries to keep up correspondence with Kofu as well, but Kofu never writes back. I think that
Yeah.
pretty much wraps it up for O. O and Boop live a happy little life, tooling around in the Fey realms and other places. And also sometimes flying, because that was their big dream. And now they have this airship that they know what to do with, kinda. So,
That's right.
they get the crew and we all go on adventures. It's good.
Okay. All right, Karini, you're up since we kind of touched in a little bit with yours.
Yeah. I think Karini first returns the reliquary that she stole from the dragons. Sorry about that. And then, well, they weren't there. They didn't know. It's fine.
You just borrowed it, that's all.
I just borrowed it. And then I think she has to go home because there's no leader there. And so she kind of takes over that charge to a degree, and she'll like have little huts built for all of her friends around the back of her house so that any of them can come visit whenever they want, whenever they need a break. They can just come out to the woods and relax. And I think I don't have the spell right now, but someday when Karini has level 7 spells, which is not that far away, it would be the next level. So I think would start. There's a spell called Temple of the Gods, and I think she would cast that over like the end of the village that has the portal to the Feywild.
Okay.
And make it like a permanent spot, but I don't think she would make it look like a temple like the spell says. I think like the roof would just be the trees, and like it says it's enclosed by a floor, walls, and a roof. Well, she would just leave it like open air, and there's just the way that the trees grow is where it is.
Okay.
And instead of having it dedicated to a particular god, even to her god, because she's the only one in this town that celebrates it, that worships the Everlight anyway, I think she would create a symbol that looks like Ram's soul plate a little bit, that is meant to symbolize free will and freedom in general, and just have that be like this is the doorway to the Feywild, and also like any of her friends that come here can feel free. I think
Okay.
that's what she wants. And then she'll probably
Alright.
live a long life, even though she's old already.
On your sort of first day as leader of your village, there is you wake up in the morning and go out into the sort of sitting area of your abode, and there's a small rolled up scroll on your table with an apple. And when you open the scroll, it's from Cottonwood.
It's this big. Mhm.
And it says, "You've come to learn that peace, in the sense of the absence of war, is of little value to a people who have known only anguish, starvation, and pain. It's not an easy lesson to learn, but you've learned it far better than many I have seen in my vast lifetimes. Well done, little one. I'm very proud of you. Go forth and lead your people. Bring this lesson to any you might teach. That peace is worth fighting for. P.S. I'll come visit sometime soon. I've just got a bit of teaching to bring to my own student. You might know him. His name is Robert."
Bob.
Oh no! Wait, I saved Bob. It's okay.
Okay. Yeah, so you spend the rest of your days with your village, and it grows in size. And your friends come and visit from time to time. You have to constantly stop Aster from trying to steal one of the dandelions.
They can't leave here.
Oh, with that attitude.
But they could. They
Their natural food is in the Feywild. They have to be able to get through the gate.
What about importing?
Still, that'd be very expensive.
But do you know what? They're worth it. Elise is just like laying down also like,
I'll just import you. Come through the trees. It's fine.
oh my god, does that make me very valuable? Because I already know my worth. Priceless.
Worthless.
Oh.
Okay,
Same
so
same coin.
Ram and Aster, your fates are sort of tied together a little bit. So if you two want to kind of go off of each other for yours. Also, Effie, your thing turned off.
I know, I turned it off.
Okay.
You can go first, because I will outlive you, probably. By a lot.
Thank you. So, first thing is when Ouroboros granted Aster a constellation, she was spired, / Keisha was spired, and wrote a mini poem. The first night that Ram and Aster have alone, and it's like a beautifully clear sky, when you can see that new constellation, she says it, she reads it to Ram. Probably pretty nervously. She's never done something like that before. But she shares it with Ram. And it's a poem she only shares with Ram. And it is, I want to say, somehow magical, so that anytime that constellation is seen, Ram hears that poem. So they go on their little adventures. I figured that we need to pick up our sheep so that they live on the floating ship.
With the tree on it,
course.
yes.
Yes, with our tree. I thought it might be kind of fun if, like, because we have the tree outside of that mansion that we all share, and that, like, maybe every now and then we could all visit it, and if the others aren't there, we could, like, write notes to each other, like, this is what I've been up to, and this is what I did, so that the others can read those letters to each other, and we, like, keep them all together, and we make books out of them that we can all share it, lives at that mansion, and we all can pull him out when we want to and read the letters, at any point. One of the first things that Aster would want to do is see her family and just make sure that everything is okay. She wants to help kind of stabilize the grove there. She would want to try to help train her sisters in the way that she kind of was, so that it's not all on one person, but they all can help, protect the grove, help it grow, and bring in new people, bring in new druids, and try to spread it, and also encourage them to be outside of the grove, because there's so many others out there, and try to, spread those roots in connection to other groves and other druids. So once she would feel comfortable with that, and this is assuming that Ram is okay with going along, of course. And let's see, I wrote. Oh yeah, and then Aster would really like to just float around on their ship and their sheep, and maybe travel and try out soup shops, because soup is special with this group.
Okay, wait. Actual soup shops or
Actual
like
soup shops.
soup shops?
Usually actual soup shops, unless
Okay.
if there was weird confusion, and then they're like, oh, but actual soup shops is the intention. And then I also had a note of like, oh, remember that story that Ram and Aster kind of came up with together? Maybe they'll make that a book, and they'll try to get it published. And as they travel in their ship, they just drop the book for people to read. Like,
It
just
reaches terminal
randomly.
velocity and kills so many people.
We don't think about that. We're free
You're
and
the
careless.
actual BBEG. One of those B stands for book, and the G stands for gravity.
Uh,
Big book, evil gravity.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yes,
those were some little things that I thought would be kind of fun during their adventures. I have one final thing, but I'm gonna save it for the end. If Ram had other things as well.
Sure. Basically follows Aster around like a lost dog. Because without a war to fight, like, what's a warforged to do? So I turn
Whatever they
into... Well, yeah, of course, but when you've been at war basically for 2,000 years, it's a hard habit to break. So Ram kind of becomes this heavy lifting house husband, while Aster like does her thing and just kind of take this and put it over there because you're strong and okay. So like deeply in love with Aster, it doesn't even matter. It could just, can you put that spoon from one side of the room to the other, and Ram would do it. Especially if O was visiting, because our spoons always go missing.
Yeah.
The time spent on the ship is probably some of her favorite times, and because she doesn't sleep, she usually just sits on the deck and looks at that constellation. She gets the constellation itself kind of like engraved on her arm, and the poem in probably Yanti, written like down one of her legs.
Okay.
But like on the inside, because it's private. Even though Ram doesn't wear pants, but it's fine.
You wear pants on dates.
I wear pants on dates. Yes, that's true. I don't know where your last thing is, but for the times after, Aster passes away because Yanti don't live forever. Oh,
She is a druid and eventually becomes a sort of arch druid and lives a lot longer than a normal Yanti would. You have, if I did my math right, you have about 800 years together.
oh, okay. Well, that's great. Yeah, 800 years of whatever Aster wants to do, Ram's there for it. Lots of that. The necklace gets a fucking workout, like so fucking much. And the magic door sock definitely also gets a workout and has to be replaced frequently.
You're always knitting new ones.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
bullet
I
blue.
just start like hanging them up because like if we're in here, don't come in. Just don't.
Yep.
I lost my train of thought. Big shot.
Socks on doors.
Socks on doors. Probably at some point, if she got the vibes, getting married might be like thrown in there somewhere, but more like a, I don't know, would you want to? I don't know, do Yanti get married? Do
And the answer would
Warforged?
be, I don't know, but yes, we do now.
Okay. And that's how it happens.
I feel like you guys would do hand fasting.
We jump the broom for sure.
Yeah.
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 After Aster passes, regardless of how long it is, how long was did Karini live?
I don't know. How long do furbolgs usually live?
I don't know.
I don't remember. I know we talked about this once, but I don't remember.
I think they have humanoid life or like human lifespans. Maybe
I think it's a
little.
little bit longer than a humanoid because they're
Yeah.
technically giant kin.
Oh, up to
so I think they
500
have
years.
a little bit. Yeah. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because right now Karini's like 128.
Okay.
Yeah. So you got another, 350 years with Karini.
Yeah, and lots more with Elise, presumably.
Yeah.
Um,
would
The
be the
one
first
you
one to go
want to
because
spend the most time with. The one who
yes.
you could never get tired of hearing or spending time with them because they are so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
O would only live till 40. And then
Yeah.
Pro.
Oh.
but flipping in and out of the Feywild, it's a little bit different. So
Mhm, yeah,
Oh,
because
you
time is
bug.
weird.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny that way.
So
Timey wimey, Kenku Wenku.
yeah, I think we would spend time in Karini's village, especially after you obviously built a shrine to Ram.
It's supposed to be for free. Okay.
No, I always tease you, like I know exactly what you're doing, but I always tease you about it because it makes me laugh.
Every time it makes me laugh.
After everybody else passes, I wander, usually bumping into Elise more often than not. Definitely not following Elise. No, that would be ridiculous. Probably find some other adventuring parties. Do some skyship pirating for fun.
With
Um,
Elise again.
yeah,
More.
yeah, bug Elise
So-
some more.
Because you were in stasis for so long, you never really got the chance to understand exactly how a Warforged life cycle works. And not long after Ram passes, you begin to
I'm
notice
not even there yet.
what?
Aster.
Did you mean Aster?
Yes, sorry, Aster.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like,
Not long-
there was other shit I had to do.
Yes. Not long after Aster passes, you begin to notice, and it's gradual at first, but you begin to notice a decline. Time being what it is, does begin to take a toll on your metal body. And you notice a slowing And you think eventually you will shut down completely.
Okay. When it gets to that point, depending on how the Accords go, I have plans.
Okay.
So how do the Accords go?
So it takes a couple hundred years because time works differently between the mortal realms and the realms that the gods call home. But eventually you are sort of informed via messenger that the gate will stay in place because it is the easiest way to keep mortal life safe from outside forces. Warforged will be given their own sort of status as their own entities, and any new Warforged that are created will be done so by the Warforged that call Mechanus home, and given a choice whether they want to stay in Mechanus or come to the material plane. And the gods ensure safe passage, so they don't arrive damaged.
What about the whole, this is your mess and we had to clean it up thing?
I meant to talk to you about this, and I didn't get around to it because life sucks.
I
But-
agree.
Been a little lifey lately. In Ram's kind of perfect world, what would be the outcome?
They police themselves. It should have nothing to do with us. If they are having issues with the duplicitous gods, they take care of it. If, yeah, that's basically it. If there's an issue with the duplicitous gods influencing mortal life or whatever, they have to take care of it.
Okay.
Because that is a them problem that is affecting the other side of the gate.
Yes. So what they agree to do is that all upper level gods and anything that is above, say, like a demigod and up, they will no longer have like direct influence in the material plane. They will keep all of that on the far side of the gate. But what that means is it makes a little bit more space for like lesser gods to interact with mortal life if they choose to. Not every lesser god has the ability to do that because communicating through the gate is difficult. And while those in the material plane that still worship the gods, it still affects their power and stuff, it's all kept to the far side of the gate. The direct influence is no longer a factor here. But there is still that ability to go between so that people who are divine users like Karini and things like that are not diminished in their capacities.
What about when Warforged die? What happens to their souls?
They have a choice.
Okay.
If they serve a god, they can go to that god's realm, or if they don't, then they can choose to either return to the collective like before, or they can just simply, it's sort of the energy's not really created or destroyed, it's just redone in a different form, and some of them go to like the astral sea, some of them go to the ethereal plane. It all sort of depends on what they want.
Okay.
But they are no longer required to be recycled.
Good.
Okay.
And it's Morden that sort of leads this discussion.
Okay.
because Ayun is not there to do it.
Okay. Kind of changes what I thought I might have to do.
Okay. You don't start another divine war?
No. No.
Did, but what if we did?
I
Yeah.
The
when
battle cry.
I start fading,
Mhm.
I make sure any of the Warforged that have come through know. I still don't like openly talk to them in my head.
Mhm.
And I still talk out loud whenever somebody tries talking in my head because that's how I do. But
Do you visit them in Baguna?
if that's where they all end up going, yeah, I'll visit them in Baguna.
The majority of them end up in Baguna. There is an enclave in Nidra in the southern continent. That's actually how O knew of Warforged to begin with. There was some there, and another enclave sort of pops up there. So the two places sort of become like sister cities with Warforge.
I assume they would have some sort of like leadership within their grouping. So I would basically find the person that would be leading and kind of like ingratiate myself, learn all about them and whatever. And before I pass, I give them 2 vials full of blood and tell them what it's for.
Okay.
Just in case.
Okay.
And then I go find my friends.
Do you use the crystal?
Shouldn't have to.
That's true.
I use it anyway just in case because I don't trust those motherfuckers.
Okay.
That's what I do.
Okay. Yeah, so the minute that you do use it, Elise appears to take you where you belong.
Oh my god, Ram, it's been so long. I thought we were going to grab lunch. Well, I was going to eat and you would hang out with me when we were in admin break last time.
I had some stuff to do.
Understandable. Well, now you don't have stuff to do because guess where you're going?
Home.
Which one? You got to guess out loud to tell me which one to take you to.
Wherever Aster is.
Okay. Elise starts Are you surprised seeing Elise has a crystal, by the way?
Not in the least.
I posted a video of this in our chat, by the way.
Oh,
I start rotating. By the way, everybody, what is your soul color in my lantern?
Acid green.
What if we're all green souls?
I was
Oh my
just actually
God.
thinking, I was like, I think she's actually like a green, like a brown green, like a muddy green.
You know, I heard of this elfish Asimar abomination of a man say that he had to find the green himself. And that's what I'm doing. Look, I'm green now too. Zzz.
Yeah, I think I'd be like Dr. Banner Hulk, like nuclear green.
I think Karani is like sunlight through the trees green. That kind of like really pale,
Aw.
kind of glowing green.
Yep.
So we
Emerald
are all
green.
green, is what you're saying.
Yep.
That's what we all decided.
Apparently.
Emerald green because I like Pokemon Emerald, and also because I'm a gemstone.
Yeah.
Zzz.
The green was in you all along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And once the last of you passes, everyone on that side of the gate soon realizes that they cannot keep you apart for anything. Your souls always manage to find each other in the afterlife. Elise takes time to bring you all together someplace, and you get together in the afterlife together.
Re-seeing Ram once again. First thing Aster would do would probably repeat that poem before just running and like plopping spiritually, however that works.
Go.
No.
Oh, she just farted.
Oh, I thought you were.
Oh.
I thought you had a
Oh no, I made
nosebleed.
it happen. I made it happen because I said it. I'm sorry.
Did you say it?
I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry.
I have to know it's my dog farted, so I tried to air out the door. It smells really bad, guys.
Oh no.
Oh,
I thought you had a
no.
nosebleed.
I'm so
No, it's my
sorry.
dog. It's farted.
I
Oh.
spoke it into being. Oh no.
Oh no.
Damn it, Ginger. You ruined a moment with your ass.
I
You
almost
egg.
said
Oh, but she's so
every word on
cute.
screen.
I
Oh,
made
no.
it so difficult.
Sorry.
Anyways, we're in the afterlife after Ginger farted and fucking killed us all.
Yeah, Aster just
Yep.
splooted on me.
Yep.
But yeah, I was gonna say for so like Aster and Ram, they do all their adventures and everything by day. You know, that's when they see their friends, and that's when they have their highest of highs and at times their lowest of lows, but they still stuck it out and were together. The nighttime, though, I would imagine that's when it was like their time, where for as long as Aster can actually keep her eyelids open, she never knew how heavy they can get. The night was theirs and theirs alone when they would look up at the sky and just be together. And so that poem with in addition to seeing like that constellation, so even after Aster is gone, Ram would still hear the words. I'm not good at this, so just don't judge too harsh. It's very quick. This is what Aster said first thing to Ram when she was inspired suddenly that first night that they have together. These are but stars, changing, fleeting, gone in a blink in the grand scheme. But you are so much more, strongly, proudly wrapped around me, an endless embrace. What lets me see the beauty of stars at all. You're my whole damn sky.
Oh,
That is so beautiful.
that's really good.
Cute. And Ram, you hear that every time you look at that constellation.
Yeah. It's good. Even when it's sad.
Is there anything else that anybody wants to do?
I would have given Cottonwood their hand back.
You can't, you burned it.
No, it didn't. It's in the bag of clothing.
You burned it. You guys put it in a... I thought you guys destroyed it.
No, we destroyed Granny's lady. We burned her. But I've had the hand in my bag the entire time.
Oh, okay.
Suppose at
So I
some
mean-
point, Crane, you could just cast regenerate.
Or they could just stick it on. It's fine.
That's also probably true.
Definitely doesn't have like
Cottonwood.
frostbite or anything.
Freezer burns.
That's it. That's all I make sure that gets done.
Okay. Well. Yeah, so I think that's where we're gonna end the campaign, you guys.
Yay.
Holy crap.
Thank you guys for
Thanks so
coming
much,
along
everybody.
on this.
I've never done a whole campaign.
Yeah, right.
You did a really good job, Artemis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Let's do it again.
And we're gonna.
Round 2. Go.
More chaos, new characters.
More green.
Mhm.
More green. That's what the layout's gonna be. It's just gonna be green.
Everybody's green.
Well, I mean, Alyssa was talking about playing a goblin, so
Well, being a lad, no way there.
Could be green.
You can change it. Nothing's cemented yet.
It's
We
true.
could just all be green for a plot reason. We all get the levels 1 feet green. It doesn't do anything but turn us green.
And I can then bring us in each time on Kazoo if it's not easy being green. I'm kidding. Don't worry.
I'm not. Just kidding. I am.
This was a really good story, Artemis.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Great story.
It's
Thanks.
really the best to tell stories with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
It's the best thing.
yeah. Yeah. And I'm glad that we all got to do this together, and means a lot to me that you guys helped bring it to life, so.
Thanks for letting us be little assholes.
Mhm.
I mean, you sort of established that in session 1, so I sort of knew what I was getting into.
Yeah.
Does
So we-
anybody have any questions that I can answer now that the campaign's over?
Yeah, why are you such a
Ayun?
bitch?
No, I mean, I don't know that I can answer that. You've known me for 3 years now.
Mm. Where's Ayun?
Yeah, where is she?
She is hidden by a spell that is basically a modified version of I think it's called Forbiddance or
We talked about it.
non-detection or something like that. And she is in the material plane.
Mm.
They figured that the best place to put her is literally right under everybody's noses where nobody would think to look for her.
Actually, that's smart.
So,
Yeah, especially on the wrong
That's
side of the gate. Fucking
Yeah.
gods.
she's the only god that's on this side of the gate.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Cool.
And the only person that knows that, actively knows that besides Ram is Pelor. That's why the Warforged were being hunted, actually, because they thought that the Warforged had answers to that. Why there was such a high bounty on Warforged was because they thought that Warforged all had that memory in their cores somewhere. And so when hunters would find them and dismantle them, they were looking for answers.
Oh, dang. That's messed up.
Mm.
So,
Yep.
Yeah.
My
we just didn't
question
really
is,
get a chance to touch on that.
what happened to Billfist?
Oh.
So
Buddy?
my Billfist survived the fight in Evanbreak and sort of reopened his shop, and I imagine that interacted with all of you guys for as long as gnomes live, and helped maintain any of the Warforged that needed it that came through, and helped O learn how to make whatever kind of crazy thing that O came up with, and just lived out his days in Ebenbreak.
Helped Ram get even taller.
There's
And
no
the
limit.
There's
KFC
no
guys?
limit. Yeah.
That's right.
Kenny and Frank, they live out their days in pretty much as what are they called, vassals or whatever of the king and queen, become trusted sort of advisors in the background, and
The royal chicken
eventually,
chefs.
yes, the royal chicken chefs.
Mm-hmm. The king
Ayo.
and queen?
King and
Oh,
queen,
and their
they
babies.
stay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so the king and
The
queen,
dragons.
they stay in power for as long as they sort of can maintain the
Illusion.
ruse of being elves. The king not so much, because everybody kind of knows after what happened that the king is a dragon, but they don't know that the queen is.
But I
And
mean, people are
weirder
dumb.
things have happened.
People are dumb, but like
It's not like publicly said, but it's like
we know.
Yeah,
We know.
maybe they know.
it's the worst kept secret
Yeah.
Yes.
that the king and queen are dragons.
No, just no one
And-
talks about it. It's like Fight Club.
Yeah, exactly. But eventually they do step down and create a council that takes over and rules Bohami. And they move to the elemental plane of air, which is where they've hidden their children in one of the floating cities that is in the elemental plane of air.
Cool. Nice.
What happened to Bob?
Yeah.
Mm.
Is he evil?
He's working at the
We
We
carnival.
don't really know what happens to Bob yet, because there's some other stuff that's happening
Man, come
with Bob
Oh,
in other campaigns, because certain
What?
people.
excellent. Approve.
I can think of at least 3 people that have been involved in where Bob ends up.
Oh
So
my God.
we'll see.
Amazing.
It's Alyssa and it is Keisha and Emily who have done it. Not you,
Yeah, totally.
Affy.
Not Affy, Maggie, and Cedar.
Bob might be
Uh-huh.
appearing right now in a different game, which you can check out on Mondays at 8:30 Eastern on twitch.tv/thelogbear, called
As an-
Mistwalker.
NPC. He's not a played character.
No, he's
Just a
Cousin
cousin.
Chaos.
Recruit.
No!
Just kidding, don't
Oh.
cry.
I literally
Big
just
bad evil guy.
trimmed out all of your NPCs, basically.
we're
What?
finally down to
Yeah,
a manageable.
Reggie. That's kind of
Yeah,
important,
I-
isn't he?
That's
Like,
up to
like-
Affy. That's up to Affy what happens with Reggie.
TBD.
Mm.
Oh.
Ah, okay.
Fair enough.
I imagine he spends a little bit of time with Bilfis though, and learning to create chaos.
Yeah, absolutely. And
As much as Red hates it.
Blowing shit
there,
up.
there's some rumor in Ebb and Break about Mr. R.
Oh.
And, there's a shipment of honey that goes missing every once in a while. And whenever he goes to Karini's village, he disappears into the Faygate for a little bit, comes back.
Slightly larger.
Slightly larger, and has a pot of Feywild honey with him every time.
He does top out at like 5 feet because rat folk don't get that big. But
I was gonna say, can he be as tall as almost as tall as Ram? Because that would be fun.
he does eventually get taller than Aster. But
I was gonna say that's taller than Aster.
So is the honey where like the honey heist and our worlds overlap? La la.
yeah, because the very first honey heist took place in Wildcall where this campaign started.
Oh, nice.
So
And it has been a
connecting.
thing ever since.
Mr. Ah.
Yeah,
But yeah,
Yes.
TBD for the majority otherwise.
I'm sure we'll find out more as campaign 2 starts. One shots and things like that.
I must know.
Any other NPCs or anything like that you want to know? Or any other questions? Things maybe we didn't answer?
Oh, actually, yes. What happens to all the staff at Ebb and Break? Whose names, when I arrived, no one still knew. But we know them.
You mean the
now.
people that like work for you? The 2 people
Yes.
that work for you?
Oh,
Our
yeah.
beloved staff.
The guy
Well,
in
the
the sun.
one you eventually, I'm assuming you dismiss because you take your sheep with you on the sky ship. So I'm assuming that the shepherd you don't keep. but your butler, the Triton butler that you guys have, you can decide if you keep him or not, since you kind of are in and out of that house anyways.
Somebody's got to keep it clean.
Especially after all the sheep lived in it for so long.
I mean, he can also like move in, since we're not all going to be there. He could live there with his family and,
Yeah.
Maintain the house.
Yeah.
For free while getting paid.
They live in like they build a sort of guest house.
Yeah.
Does tours
Nice.
for people that are like,
This is where
Yeah,
the
like the
Phixius
manor
tribe
houses in
sometimes
the
live.
UK.
The chosen ones
It's
left here.
Pemberley.
To be like, preserved as like an historical site.
Yeah.
We just start like randomly dumping our random adventure shit in there as well, like along with our letters. So like every once in a while, like a new weapon will show up, just not even hung up on the wall, like gouged into the wall.
I was gonna say, like,
Yeah.
it just dropped and through the ceiling, or
Random statues that nobody knows where they came from.
We're just collecting
random notes with no
wild
context.
torches.
Do not say these words to the statue, otherwise all good.
Also, its nose is ticklish. Yeah,
For sure.
I think that
Yay.
not about.
Where's it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about like questions to the other characters? Anybody have any questions for like backstory stuff for anybody that wasn't?
How Oler played the
Post.
kazoo so well.
Yeah, how do you do that when you don't have
One
lips?
question. Yeah, right.
You just have
That
a
is
nose
actually-
mouth.
Valid question. I don't have an answer to it.
The nose mouth.
I feel like
Always
Cottonwood
had to
totally taught you.
What happens to Bee Boop? Did we over that?
We didn't. No. Except the bee
Once-
boop helped out at the museum, but like presumably, yeah, once that was gone, then the magic is probably like, Yeah.
Oh.
and bee boop becomes the pile of silverware that he once came out.
Oh.
Like clink, 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 and there's a whole lot of sharpened spoons in a pile.
Lots of shanks.
All of your silverware that ever went, like all of us find our silverware in a pile.
Yeah, whatever didn't get launched out of the cannons that are on the
Yeah.
skyship.
Grandma Patina's silver spoon. I've been looking for this for years.
Ben.
Dang it.
It's my thimble. Ah, finally.
Thimbles.
There's like
Anything
a little
shiny.
tower of thimbles.
Just so much like tourist paraphernalia everywhere
Yeah.
in O's
Yeah.
house.
Little cups that
Yep.
say "I went to Dino Island" on them, but they're silver.
The
And
only
we
thing I
made
got
them.
was this stupid cup.
Shot glasses everywhere.
That's just the sort of stuff that starts showing up in the house. It's
Mhm.
literally
Yeah.
like just the most random bullshit. Like, oh, here's a rock I found. That's gonna go right
Yeah.
there on Curani's shrine to the Everlight. It's
My
actually
story to us.
petrified dino poo, but who's gonna
It's
know?
fine.
Yeah, there's like a little one of those little spoon shelves.
can make
except
another
There are
one.
no spoons on it because instead of putting them up there, I've stolen them all again.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I'm
see
just
that
gonna-
there are spoons there, but
Too.
then they disappear. But then there's new spoons, and then they disappear for a time.
We fill up one and then we buy like a new spoon rack and then they
They're
all just
all gone.
disappear. I thought that only happens for like 80 years, maybe.
It's fine.
And then we get sad.
Aw.
They just stay empty.
Do,
Yeah.
do one of
Everyone
you
is so
pick up the stealing of the spoons just to keep the tradition alive?
No,
I think
raining
Sure.
didn't-
In
I-
O's honor.
I think it would be the opposite. Instead of stealing spoons, you just start leaving spoons places.
Like a shrine.
I like that, like a good luck charm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
sort of like a
Well,
we were
O's
here
did
thing.
serve the goddess of luck, so
Yes.
That's
true.
good. Did I use that luck feat any time in this campaign? I did not.
Nope. I think we
Lucky.
start getting like, those really little spoons. and just kind of like carving our name like into the bowl of it and leaving
like
it wherever we've
grapefruit
been.
spoons.
Yeah. And then if
Yeah.
you find it, then you get to keep
You're
it.
lucky.
And you're lucky.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. I'm trying to find if I have that
like
dude's
a few.
name.
What about
So I
Elise and their
picture-
girlfriend? Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I picture that your I was gonna say house Carl, but that's technically not what he is, your butler. He's got like a map that he keeps in the like shop that O has in the house that is just like got pins in it of all the different places that you guys have like left shit from. So he knows where
So it's like
you've been.
geocaching?
Yes.
We start
Yeah.
geocaching Phixius?
He's just like, well, this came from there, so they were there.
I love
He's
this.
just like tracking where you've
He
been.
has one of those like
He's like the
scratch
green-
off like national parks
Okay.
poster things.
Yes. That's awesome.
Name of the guy, and he has like a bunch of red threads all on a pinboard behind him.
It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
a conspiracy
I
board.
was just, I would just think that it's like a pin board, not like anything like
All
crazy. But
things
you just like
forever.
mark through all of the
You never know
souvenirs
though.
that you bring back
Responsible
from.
for, or that we did.
Dude,
Yeah.
the top has the same board, but it is all of the crazy like lines and stuff, and he's just like, "Where are they?"
There's
He's
no
like trying to
pattern
figure
this.
out
where
where
are
we
they
actually
going?
are.
So bad.
I just need
Literally
I'm trying
no
to
pattern.
send them a message. Their rent is due. No.
The HOA.
Oh, well, that's
I
the,
ain't
that's
got
the
the
other
paycheck
thing.
in 2 months.
Like, whenever we hop into the house, like, they get paid very well
Just
because
piles
we
of
don't
cash.
leave messages for each other. Hey, paid the staff for the next month. No, we just leave them like a bunch of fucking money. And it's
So
like,
they actually just
Yeah.
get paid multiple times a month
yeah.
because we all think the other people aren't doing it, so we do it.
Yep.
Elise pays an Electrum sometimes as a troll. Worst boss.
Worst.
No,
the
Electrum
worst.
does not exist in my world.
Oh wait, didn't I have the only piece of Electrum in the world?
Yes, there's one piece of Electrum, and it's technically not from my world. So
Okay, when I die, I bury the last piece of Electrum with my stone. I like put the Electrum above the stone so then people don't dig further. They're like, oh look, we found this really cool piece of Electrum.
But we don't know what it is because Electrum doesn't exist.
Well, it's a
It's
really
just some
cool
weird
stone.
alien metal.
Oh, look,
It's
it's
in a
a
river.
arcade token. Well, those are obsolete.
But yeah, Elise, you and your girlfriend, what happened?
Oh, does my girlfriend still like me? I mean, I've been kind of like a shitty partner. Not gonna lie, I mean, the world was ending.
you do eventually like meet back up after you return to Ebonbreak, like whenever that is, because she's in Ebonbreak.
Then
She
we
went there to help the guild like fight with the
Ah.
resistance.
maybe I become part of like the guild council, and she's also on the guild council, and we are like a power couple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
She's a very practical person, so I feel like she keeps your like ego in check.
Is that even possible?
Mm.
No, but she tries.
But an attempt was made.
Yeah.
Yes.
They prevent Elise from like overblowing the merchandise budget. Like, what if we put like pleats on the uniform, like on the sleeves?
Why?
Leaves the sleeve for
Pleats.
fashion.
There is no uniform for the
Elise
guild.
the
It's just
token.
tokens. You have like the bandana, the
What if we
ring,
put
or a
plates on the
necklace.
tokens?
Elise is trying to make this guild even cooler, and by cooler, they think that there needs to be more fashion.
Beautiful.
It's like the ribbons that royal people get from one another that they wear, so there's just like a bunch of weird colored ribbons that are kind of crinkled up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like what if we made like reward badges? We could call them like you could say like achievement unlocked or something.
Uh-huh.
I feel like
Mm.
you try to put all these changes in place, and Rayla's like, we're not gonna make them do this. Nobody will come to the guild anymore. It can be an option. And like
Okay.
nobody wears the uniform. But you know, it's there.
It does look
Proudly
pretty
on
cool.
display.
It does look pretty
Those
cool.
who want to be in like admin, they wear the uniforms.
Hunters Guild admin. It's like one
Yep,
dude.
One really nerdy dude with spectacles that like just shows up one day and like
Why are the
knows the
person-
handbook better than anybody because nobody's ever seen the handbook.
We have a
Why are the
handbook?
lady
Hard.
who used to work at the HOA who hated her life?
No, the dude arrives because he wrote the handbook before even like applying for the
Yes.
job.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he did this.
It didn't
Yeah.
exist
He
previously.
appears with a handbook.
That was his qualification letter. It was the handbook.
Boom. It's like this big. And they're like,
No.
you're hired.
But also, no, that's not happening.
But also, fireplace.
Oh, look what you did. Well, we're not using that.
Oh, sorry,
And
I
the second
slipped.
piece was made.
Yeah, this asshole definitely made copies.
That's actually a fair point. I do have two questions that I thought of. What happens to our special like Salmoline's tier and
Event Horizon.
Event Horizon and all that?
They go with you to the afterlives because there's no reason for them to stay here anymore. If the gods do need champions in the future, they'll either need to make new weapons or new items or whatever, or it just won't be the way that it was because you guys are their keepers.
Cool.
That
Ram, your
metal-
Design the item,
your
obviously. A higher
Event
elite.
Horizon. Yeah, exactly. Event
Higher-
Horizon never stops talking to you.
Oh no.
Especially after you're sort of on your own. It like you two just argue constantly.
Yeah.
Like having your own personal.
Become
elite
like-
with you.
If you've ever seen grumpier old men, that's you guys.
Yeah, that tracks. That tracks. I will try to leave Event Horizon with the same Warforged. And
Yeah.
Yeah. I try to. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but I try to.
No, where like you leave it there, and when you wake up from your like 4 hours of shutdown that you have, you like reach down and it's immediately within your grasp. And it's just you just hear, nice try.
You're a little clingy and I need my space.
That's great.
It's like,
And what about that
no.
metal pyramid that nothing was done with? That was part of the
Oh.
key. What was that?
well, that's up to you. Do you go find the rest of them?
I
You
probably
take
at
time
some
to go
point.
find the rest of them.
Which I have a follow-up question that's more important than the key. What about our rocks that keep reproducing?
Mm.
We'll come back to that.
Okay.
So the little pyramids, there are, I think, 8 in total, and they each have a different school of magic carved into them. And when all 8 of them are put together, they form the key that brings you to Ayun.
Oh,
Fuck yes, we do that.
Yeah.
sweet.
Does the song from Kingdom Hearts play when we do that?
Which
When
one?
you walk away. Oh,
No.
hear me say.
Oh, can Granny stay and just talk to her about books? For like
Yeah, we
5
just
days.
literally bring her like
Leave it there.
snacks and books and like see if there's anything we can do about the whole injury thing. It's not to be like awful. It's just like, hey, you know, you've been here alone for a long time.
So you basically once you put all the keys together, and Aster, you're sort of the one that realizes it. It functions as when you have to use a plane shift spell, you have to use a tuning fork. This is very similar to that because you kind of are hiding, like she's hidden within the material plane in a place that is unable to be scryed on and things like that. I forget which spell that is. I have to
I
double
think
check.
it is forbidden. We
But
talked about it in
yeah,
our spells.
but basically what it is that they can't be scryed on by outside forces, and so this allows you to locate that building that she's in, and it's basically a giant library, and you find out that all of the repository of knowledge, they all empty into the Opus at Ebonbreak, which is the school there. And every copy, because anytime that you submitted something to that, there was 2 copies made. There was one that was sent directly to the Opus, and then there was another one that was presumably kept in the locations. However, that was all sent to Ayun, so she's been amassing knowledge the entire time that she's been here. That was her charge to her followers, was never stop learning, because that's when things stagnate and things cease to change, that's when things get dangerous. So that was her missive to her followers before she went into hiding, was never stop learning.
So we feel silly when we show up with books because she's already got all of them.
Yep.
But
He appreciates the gesture.
But this is the newest edition.
Tusk Glove.
It's Tusk Glove. Do you have a copy of Tusk Glove?
She just points to the shelf that's all just romance novels that have been written throughout time.
All of the editions.
Snacks?
Eventually, the book that Aster and Ram wrote ends up in there.
Oh yeah.
Falls out of the sky.
Aw,
through the
that's
floor.
pretty good.
Pieces and
You guys just turn up at one point and she's reading it as you walk in. But her wound is slowly healing, but the amount of power required to injure a god in the way that she was injured, it will take a very, very long time for her to heal completely and regain her strength. Like she's lucky that she didn't die, because the weapon she was attacked with was coated in the blood of a hind. So it could have killed her, and it didn't. So
No comment.
The rocks.
yeah, I'm sure that's not gonna come back to bite you in the ass.
To get their rocks off.
Okay,
Dang it.
so the little rocks. Where do you spend the most amount of time, Aster? In your swamp, on Dino Island, at home, in Karini's village?
The ship, probably.
Yeah, I was gonna say the ship, I would say.
Okay. So they keep sort of reproducing every once in a while. It's not often that it happens, but when they do, you sort of are introducing a new creature into wherever it is that you go. And they eventually
Destroyers
are throughout
of
the world.
ecosystems. Yeah.
We go to many, many,
You
many
don't know what they're
phases.
gonna do when they're out in the wild, but they are out in the wild.
We
I'm gonna
introduce
harvest.
plastic.
Well,
No.
I am sorry, that was awful.
No, they're just little tiny diamond creatures, and they never ever get more than like 3 or 4 inches tall.
Aw.
So they're, eventually, whenever you go to a new port with your skyship, you see one of them like run down the ramp.
help.
Ooh.
Oh well.
There's another.
not again.
I'm sure it's fine.
Sequester is the
Mhm.
spell.
Yes.
I actually have a question for Ram. So when it comes time for Clash to cross, do you go with Elise to escort him?
Probably
If
not.
Elise lets you know ahead of time?
I don't think so.
No? Okay.
The connection with the Warforged is too traumatic of a thing to
Yeah.
kind of like maintain those relationships. The final relationship that she forged with the one from one of the enclaves is kind of like out of necessity rather than want, to pass on those vials, just in case.
Yeah. Yeah, and between the two enclaves, they each sort of elect their own like administrator that isn't really like, yes, they're kind of in charge, but they're not really in charge. They just sort of are the ones that, like, if there's a problem, that's who they go to. That's who like the Warforged go to
Right.
for sort of guidance. It's not that they're really, they don't give orders or anything like that. They just are the ones that, like, they maintain relations with fleshies.
Okay. Can I amend that then, that each enclave will get one? Because I've
Sure.
only got two. And
Yeah. It's probably better that they're not both kept in the same place anyways, so.
yeah, and I'm not going to tell them what they are. They're going to
Okay.
be in iron boxes. So like 1 inch thick iron box.
Okay.
So it can't be located, scried on, all that bullshit. But it'll have a letter inside of it. And they'll know to only open it in case of God's
Apocalypse.
doing shit that they shouldn't be doing.
Okay.
That's the only instruction they'll have. It'll be engraved on the top in the iron in case of God attack.
Okay. In case of Godzilla smash.
But they're fully sealed, like fully encased in iron. There's no seam. They would actually have to like get a blacksmith to crack them open.
To open it up. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like a piggy bank, but no entrance or and yeah. Yes, Kane, thank you, lead, not iron. I meant lead.
I knew what you meant, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're the holders of those.
All right.
Is
Nice.
break in case of emergency.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, any other questions that I can answer? Anything like that?
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's it.
Well,
Yeah.
we can wrap it up there.
Well done.
When you walk away.
You don't hear me say.
Jeez.
We're gonna go raid the Mind's Eye. They have started his campaign. They're on session 3 now, which is amazing. Finally.
He's been working on that for a long time.
Yeah, so go give him a follow if you haven't. If not, just sit and listen to him talk because he's wonderful to listen to. And we'll be back with campaign 2 at some point.
Couple weeks.
Couple weeks, apparently. So says the boss.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Well, we'll see you later.